We've been taking turns suggesting things to do. I took him to the symphony. He took me antique shopping.
Oh, did you buy anything?
No, but he gave me an education on antique nautical equipment. He's an interesting guy, Emmy.
Hey, guys, aren't y'all gonna be late for school?
We're leaving. We're just getting something to eat.
How about coffee cake?
Oh, no thanks. Jason's training out for the wrestling team.
Yeah, Kelly's helped me keep my weight down.
So, Renee, you got a new boyfriend?
He's not my boyfriend. He's the doctor who treated your mother for the bee sting.
That was brutal, huh? I'm allergic to blueberries and goat cheese.
Yeah, well, then you're safe at this house.
We should go.
All right, see you later, Miss Sims, Miss Jackson.
Bye.
They've been seeing a lot of each other, huh?
Only every day, twice on the weekends, and phone calls in between.
He behaving himself? No more DUIs?
Well, so far, I think he knows he's skating on thin ice. So what happens next with you and Clay?
I'm taking him dancing tonight. What was I thinking?
Hi, you're a great dancer.
Not me, him. What if he's got, you know, the white guy overbite?
Oh, come on. What if he can't dance? I mean, how important is that compared to other things like changing the oil and taking the trash out, stuff like that?
It's important. You can tell how a man is going to make love by the way he dances.
So what, if he's not a good dancer, you're gonna dump him?
Depends on how bad.
Oh, look, Jason forgot his jacket.
And his condom.
Any day now, I will hear you say goodbye, my love, and you'll be on your way. In my wild, beautiful world, you will have flown. It isn't now. I'll be gone alone.
Me, breathe deeply.
I'm totally calm. What do you think, I'm gonna drive over to the school and yank her out of class and lock her in her room?
Just as long as you're considering other options.
Morning, Renee.
Morning. I'm going to go now. Call me later. Breathe.
What's she in such a hurry about? I brushed my teeth.
That fell out of Jason's jacket.
All right, I'm gonna take him right over to school.
Now call your weight. There's another way to handle this.
Damn straight, but I'll need my gun.
He's not a sexual predator. He's just a normal teenager.
I don't care. I don't want him getting normal with my daughter.
Collier, she's 16. We knew this was gonna come up.
How do you suggest we handle this?
Let me talk to her. And if that doesn't work, you can get your gun and deal with Jason.
She was constantly being teased by her classmates, and you know how cruel teenagers can be. Not that I can blame them. You should have seen her nose before the operation.
It was pretty bad. Really big with a bump.
She got it from her father, God rest his soul. Anyway, Dr. Chirico came with degrees and recommendations, but he's completely incompetent.
A week after I had it done, the roof of my mouth started hurting, like when you burn it with a slice of pizza.
How long ago was the operation?
6 weeks ago. I had to take off 2 days of work and shell out $3,500 only to get a new set of problems.
And what did Dr. Chirico say when you told him about the pain?
He said it was psychosomatic. He wouldn't admit he screwed up.
It's not in my head. It really hurts.
We've been to 3 other doctors. They think he may have damaged a nerve or something. Our insurance won't cover a dime of this. It's clearly malpractice.
Well, I'll need another surgeon to review Paige's medical records before I can make that determination.
Fine. I'll get them to you today. Come on, Paige, honey. This butcher doesn't know who he's dealing with.
The important thing is to get you out of pain.
Thank you.
She's going to be beautiful, in spite of all this.
Hey, ugly. Shut up, Tully. Let's just get our ice cream and take it back to Port Dixie. Hey, Mary Elizabeth. Hey, Collier. Here she comes. Here she comes. Here she comes. Who is that?
It's Tully's cousin from Florida. His mom's making him play with her.
Look, it's snowing down south.
Yeah, it's snowing down south.
What's wrong with her? Nobody likes her, and she's got cooties bad.
And she weighs half a ton.
You should talk, Tubbalard.
She's almost as ugly as you, Brian.
Come on, Tully, let's ditch her.
Not for your life!
that Agnes.
Glad I'm not her.
We can play with her if you want.
No way. She's got cooties.
It's not a real disease. I mean, you can't catch anything.
I know, but she's still weird.
Tully sure is mean to her, and she's his flesh and blood.
Haven't seen him have that much fun picking on someone since Bobby got the chicken pox.
If other kids liked Agnes, he couldn't pick on her so much. Boy, would he hate that.
Nobody's gonna like her as long as she wears those retard shoes.
And those eyeglasses, they are not very flattering.
We could give her a bunch of advice so she wouldn't be so cootified.
Mama says you can't give advice to people when they don't ask for it. I know. We could give her a makeover like they have in the magazines. Before and after.
Yeah! After we get through with Agnes, she could practically be a movie star.
Where's Lakeisha?
Didn't I mention she called in sick? Make sure you tell her to rip her mailing address off her magazines. You should never let people know where you live.
No, you should never let people know where you live.
Very unkind. What are you working on?
Malpractice case. 16-year-old girl has some rhinoplasty done. By the looks of her records, doctors really did a number on her.
Oh, bad nose job. There's nothing worse. See, I like big noses. They're very sensual.
She's also had breast augmentation and collagen treatments in her lips, which they neglected to mention.
I'm 16 years old. What is this doctor thinking?
What's her mother thinking? Do you know that anyone with a medical degree can do cosmetic surgery? They don't even have to be board certified.
You mean I could have been earning the big bucks this whole time?
These doctors, so long as they have the parents' permission, they're not doing anything illegal.
Not every doctor has the highest ethical standards, okay? Kind of like your profession.
Excuse me?
Come on, can we dance now, or you want to keep talking shop?
Sure.
Right. What's wrong?
Nothing.
You were supposed to laugh. This was a test. You get 10 points for politeness, but you lose 2 for no sense of humor.
I should get 50 points for not walking out the door.
What are you doing in there? I'll be right out. Been in here 45 minutes, are you sick?
No.
Kim? What the heck are you doing?
Shaving my arms.
Well, don't do that. It'll grow back twice as thick and twice as long. I need to talk to you. Jason left one of his condoms here this morning. I thought you said you two weren't having sex.
Or not.
Then why does he have condoms?
He wanted to do it a few weeks ago. I said no. Maybe you got some then. I don't know.
Kelly, wait. Come here.
Mom,
Kelly, don't leave till we finish this conversation. If Jason is pressuring you to have sex, I don't think you should be going out with him.
he's not pressuring me. I told him I don't want to lose my virginity. He respects that.
How long is he going to respect that?
Mom, why are you doing this? Don't you trust me? I mean, we've talked about AIDS, about pregnancy, about everything.
This is not just about diseases, Kel. If you have sex before you are ready, without love and commitment, you can really get hurt. Waiting for marriage is not a punishment. It's just protecting your heart.
You didn't wait.
And I got pregnant. You know how traumatic that was? I don't want you to have to go through that.
I'm not going to, okay?
I was just changing my shirt.
Next time, why don't you plant a microphone?
I'm concerned that Paige has had other cosmetic procedures aside from the rhinoplasty.
Concerned about how that might impact our case?
No, I'm concerned about her. She's only 16 years old and isn't finished developing yet.
How's that any of your business?
Can I explain? I was really flat. Mom was originally the same bra size, so we figured I wasn't going to develop much more. It sucked.
She was practically asocial, and now she gets invited places, and she started dating. She's finally happy.
I spoke to Dr. Chirico. He tells me that you've had a consultation for liposuction.
That's right. Paige has fat deposits in places that no amount of dieting is going to get rid of.
Liposuction, that's a serious medical procedure. Are you telling me that you'd risk more pain, more complications?
Don't play dumb with me, Miss Jackson. It's obvious you take a lot of care about how you look. And why? Because you know how the world works, how much easier it is if you're a good-looking person. So don't tell me what you do is okay, but what Paige does isn't.
When I get ready in the morning, I don't have to worry about nerve damage.
I still don't see what any of this has to do with why we hired you.
You haven't hired me yet. And when I'm considering a malpractice suit and my client goes heading off for more unnecessary surgery, I start to get nervous.
Well, there's one thing in this world I know. It's not to hire a nervous attorney. I'll take those records, Miss Jackson. We'll be finding someone else.
What was that all about?
I just got fired.
That's all? Come on, I'll buy you a martini, cheer you up with some of my getting fired stories, huh?
It isn't getting fired that bothers me. I'm worried about that girl. Her mother is trying to turn her into some kind of Barbie doll.
It's too bad.
That's too bad? That's supposed to cheer me up?
They fired you. It's like breaking up. The relationship's over. There's nothing you can do about it.
I was thinking about reporting her to the child welfare people. That woman doesn't know the first thing about parenting.
That's getting close to violating privilege.
I know, but I was never going to represent the mother, only the daughter. I have to take the risk.
And if the girl gets taken away from the mother, she's going to have a better life?
That's a good question. But what if something else happens to her? I've got to call someone with some expertise on how to handle this. They're sending someone over to investigate. I had to say I suspected abuse without giving away any of the details of her medical record. Talk about cutting it close.
We did the absolute right thing for that girl. Thank God Kelly has a good self-image.
Have you guys confronted about the condom thing yet?
Yeah, we had a good talk, very honest. Kelly has a very good head on her shoulders.
Things sure have changed since you and Carly were kids. Can you imagine telling your mother the truth?
You think she's lying to me?
No, that's not what I meant.
What, you think she's just trying to get me off her back?
Emmy, stop.
I know one place where she tells the whole truth. Come on.
Don't do this, Emmy.
Aren't you the pot calling the kettle black? Who was it just called Children's Services?
Yes, for a mother who's abusing her daughter.
I'm protecting my daughter.
I am going home.
Hey, do you have a 16-year-old daughter? Then just get off your high horse, would you? Pay dirt. Ha-ha. Do you have a fingernail file?
No, I do not.
Then give me that bobby pin right there.
You are shameless. How do you expect her to trust you?
She'll never know.
I don't believe you. I am not listening to this.
Fine. Tracy says Don wants her to go to Atlanta. They've been going there for 6 months, and he's sick of waiting. If she won't go, he might break up with her.
What's so great about Atlanta?
I don't know. They do a glee club trip there every year.
I'm bending my ethics for this measly payoff?
That happens with Jason. She said to tell him that I'd go down to Baton Rouge. That might satisfy him. These kids have a real travel bug, don't they?
What's in Baton Rouge?
Crawfish. She never mentioned going there.
I think it's just a figure of speech. She's writing in code.
Why?
One guess.
All right. If Tracy's boyfriend wants her to go to Atlanta and he's going to break up with her if she doesn't go, Atlanta is sex.
I think sex is more like Kathmandu. Atlanta's like getting your nails
Would you
done.
please stop it? I'm having heart palpitations here and you're being poetic. Now, if Atlanta is sex, then what is Baton Rouge?
It means red stick in French.
Red stick.
Red stick.
Red stick.
Tracy's telling her that if Jason wants to have sex with her and he can't wait, that she can still hold on to him by going down to Baton Rouge.
Oh, my God. She's thinking about having oral sex.
And a friend is telling her it really isn't sex. You know what girls can convince themselves of when they get together?
You said we were gonna play. We are playing. This game's called Makeover, and you're it. How come you're wearing cootie protection? We always wear it, just in case. Now, the first thing you're gonna have to do is stop eating so much candy. My Butterfinger. What should we do first, the haircut or the clothes? No, you ain't cutting my hair. Now that side's a little higher. I ain't playing no more. You aren't playing. Ain't isn't a word, Agnes. What are you so worried about? It's just hair. It grows back. I have to go home. Let's go to my house. We can have a snack there. Can I stop now? I feel sick. 10 minutes. That's good. My mom can only do it for 7. What is that? My slip. You better take it off, Agnes. I can't. My mom won't let me. Agnes, come on. Hand it over. You can have your snack now. Carrots and raisins. Why do you always wear those shoes? I ain't got any others. You don't have any others. Teresa just got a new pair of penny loafers. Bet she'd love to loan them to you.
Y'all want onions with this salad?
Only if it's the red kind.
Just give me some time, okay? I need to figure out a way to bring it up without admitting I looked in her diary.
Just make it hypothetical.
How? Hypothetically, Kelly, we were wondering if you were planning on going to Baton Rouge.
I'm telling you, Mary Elizabeth, if you don't say it, I will.
Kelly, your dad and I were talking about the situation with Jason.
What situation with Jason?
Well, we hope you're not being pressured into something.
Sex covers a broad spectrum, you know.
I already told Mom I'm not having sex. Why do you have to keep torturing me about it?
Well, you may not realize it, but boys talk. They exaggerate. You kiss one, he's telling his friend he's got the third base.
What is third base anyway? Heavy petting?
No one calls it petting anymore unless it's a dog.
What base is oral sex?
There is no base for oral sex. It's the same as hitting a home run.
What your dad is trying to say is that oral sex is every bit as intimate as intercourse, and you can even get a lot of the same diseases doing it. The only difference is you can't get pregnant.
Fine, is the lecture over?
It's not a lecture, it's just a conversation. I read a magazine article the other day that most teens don't think that oral sex is sex.
Not just teenagers. Don't you watch the news?
It's called oral sex, not oral baseball, not oral hygiene, not oral Roberts.
I'm not doing any of it, all right? And, you know, comparing sex to baseball is really retarded.
If you don't feel better in the morning, just stay home. Don't argue with me, Lakeisha. You're welcome.
How dare you call those people on me?
I was worried about Paige. I felt obligated to make that call.
I came to you in confidence, and you turned me in like a criminal, some kind of child abuser.
I was looking out for Paige's welfare from the start, not yours.
Paige's welfare? Those people came over, went through the house, and got her hysterical. They said there's going to be some kind of hearing and that you're involved?
They've asked me to be her guardian ad litem. It's just an advisory role to help the court decide what's best for Paige.
And what do you know about raising kids? What would you do, Ms. Jackson, if your daughter came home every day crying because classmates used her weakness as their favorite joke?
I don't know. But I wouldn't keep sending her to a surgeon to get her self-esteem.
Stay out of our business. And don't you dare turn my daughter against me.
I thought she was going to hit me. The woman is dangerous.
Well, you did the right thing having her checked out. So tell me, what can I do to help?
Nothing. You can sit down and relax.
Come on, I can slice, dice, chop. I'm a walking Cuisinart.
Here, quarter in slices. Knock yourself out.
Okay. Ah!
What did you do?
Ooh. Look at that.
What? It's nothing.
You know what I like about you?
What?
You're not afraid to go out with me 2 nights in a row and make plans for later in the week. Doesn't even make you nervous.
Nervous about what?
That I'm going to think you're too available. You're not seeing anyone else.
I'm not seeing anyone else.
Then I guess you're not nervous.
Are you?
What, nervous or seeing anyone else?
Either.
No, neither. I'm glad we got that out of the way.
I wonder who that could be.
Oh, probably some kids selling candy for school. They got me twice last week.
Bill.
Hi. I didn't want to call because I thought you might hang up on me. Look, Renee, I really need to talk to you. I've been thinking about what happened, and
If it's chocolate, I'll take 2.
This is kind of a bad time.
Do you have a sharper knife? Hi.
Clay, this is Bill Moody. Bill, Clay Mitchell.
nice to meet you. You're busy. I'll call you sometime.
All right. Good night. See the look on his face when he saw Clay come out with the butcher knife?
Well, it serves him right showing up out of the blue. What did he want?
I don't know. He said he'd call.
How you feel about that?
Aside from the knot in my stomach, it's like opening up a wound. It was healing up just fine until last night.
But you looked great too, didn't you?
I was wearing that new silk outfit with the earrings you gave me and leopard pumps.
Perfect. But you always look great. I don't know how you have the energy.
Habit. It's amazing the lengths we go through, the time and the money we spend.
And it starts so early, too. I remember you 10 years old, sitting in front of that old vanity.
Got worse in college. I almost starved myself to death trying to hold on to that size 6. If I could have back all the hours I have spent primping, trying to look good.
What would you do with them?
Go shopping.
What time's the movie over?
Around 9, but they were going for pizza after.
She better know the whole plot of that movie. Remember when you used to tell your mother we're going to the movies and we'd go out to Route 78 and park?
We were only 15 the first time we went to Baton Rouge. You're younger than Kelly. We're such hypocrites.
No, we're not. We're in love.
They think they're in love, too.
He's a snake.
Look, if it'll make you feel better, I'll call his parents and talk to them.
That's a good idea.
Kelly's gonna do whatever she wants anyway. I mean, we've done all we can. What we need to do now is just leave the door open so she feels like she can talk to us no matter what.
Look at me. I'm an open door.
And when she does start having sex, when she's 35, we'll be glad about those condoms. Now, you coming to bed?
No, I think I'll go downstairs and wait for Kelly. See how that movie turned out. Or just wait till tomorrow.
We're here today to determine if Paige Thornburg is living in an abusive household. Mrs. Thornburg, do you have counsel?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Albert Coslow, Your Honor.
I see we have Miss Tolan representing the Department of Human Resources today and Ms. Jackson acting as guardian ad litem. Ms. Jackson, after both sides make their cases to the court, you may present your determination as to what is in the best interest of this child.
Yes, Your Honor.
Dr. Hoffman, you've been the staff psychologist at DHR for the last 9 years. Can you tell me, how does it affect a child when the parent constantly derides how a child looks?
It creates low self-esteem, self-hatred even.
In your opinion, is cosmetic surgery an appropriate remedy for that?
Surgery can be a quick fix, but it doesn't solve the underlying problem. There's also the problem of its permanence. A teenager's feelings about her body change as fast as her body changes.
After speaking to Paige Thornburg, what is your opinion of her mental state?
She's depressed, lacks confidence.
This lady is such a loser. So what if I'm depressed? Everyone I know is.
She's so eager for approval, she's willing to undergo quite a lot of physical pain in order to get it.
Is my mom gonna talk?
Most likely.
Are these symptoms indicative of a child who's been subjected to emotional abuse?
I would say so, yes.
She better not say anything dumb.
I think you'll probably go first.
Miss Thornburg, how did you look before your surgery?
I was ugly.
And now how do you see yourself?
I look better. It was a good thing.
You consulted an attorney, Miss Jackson, about a medical malpractice suit regarding a rhinoplasty operation.
Objection. That falls under attorney-client privilege.
Overruled. Those records have been excluded from this evidentiary hearing. She may talk about generalities.
How much pain are you in?
It's better now. Mom got me some pain pills.
Is she the one who suggested that you have surgery to improve your appearance?
No, it was my idea. She just took me to the doctors and paid for it.
And after the surgery, what was her reaction?
She said I looked much better. I think she was relieved.
Thank you, Paige.
Mr. Coslow?
Tell me, Paige, why did you choose to undergo surgery?
There's a lot of pressure at my school to look a certain way. I didn't fit in.
Do you fit in now?
More?
Has your mother ever abused you in any way?
No, never.
Do you want to stay with her or go live with relatives until you reach the age of majority?
Stay with her. She's a good mother.
Thank you.
Let's take a recess for lunch. Parties will return to this courtroom at 2 p.m. sharp.
I know this is hard for you, and I'm sorry you have to go through it.
No, you're not. You're the one who made it happen.
I didn't make this happen. If something wasn't wrong, we wouldn't be here today.
What's wrong is that some doctor screwed me up. That's what started this whole thing.
Paige, this started long before you had the operation.
Yeah, right. You think my mother started it. She wasn't the one who called me ugly.
Who was it?
Some guys after school. They followed me home on their bikes. They threw rocks at me. After that, when I looked in the mirror, I knew they were right.
It's a lie, you know. There's nothing ugly about you.
That's what the shrink tried to tell me. Dad says only losers need shrinks.
Were you close to your dad?
Until Mom divorced him. And he moved to England with his girlfriend. He died last year.
I'm so sorry. You've had a lot of serious things going on in your life. You know, I think it might be helpful if you had someone to talk to about all this.
Why don't you all just leave me alone?
Why don't we see how nice you look without your glasses?
No, I need them.
I'm sure you can see just fine without them on.
These shoes are a little big.
Well, we can put something in the ends, like newspaper. Here, crumple it up and stuff it in the toes. More raisins, Agnes?
I guess so. They kind of hurt my stomach.
When are we gonna take her outside and teach her how to throw a baseball?
Nah, don't play sports. It's too dangerous.
See, we're not making her into a tomboy. It's a makeover. What's wrong with tomboys? We're not boys. We're supposed to be pretty. You're a priss, Renee Jackson. No, I am not. And you better go home, Mary Elizabeth O'Brien. Agnes? Agnes? Agnes. What are you doing, Agnes?
Going home. I don't like fighting.
That's the coat closet. Come on, please don't leave. We'll stop fighting, honest.
Okay. You can both be my friend. Raisins, please. Carrot, please.
Sure thing, Agnes. Agnes sounds like an old lady. You need a better name. How about Alexandra? Too long. Hazel? Too Hazley. Something pretty. Like what?
What about Grace Kelly?
You can't be Grace Kelly. There already is one. She could be Kelly Grace. That sounds good. Introducing the magnificent Kelly Grace. Dun, dun, dun.
So what's next, Renee?
I think you're done.
No, I'm not. I don't want to stop playing.
Well, the game's not over, Agnes. Kelly, we've still got one more thing to do. Meet us tomorrow at the soda fountain.
I ain't going back there. I don't like those kids.
Well, don't you want them to see your new look? How are you gonna get your present?
What present? You have to meet us and you'll see.
I got you.
I can't go home. Teresa's gonna kill me over those shoes. They probably stink. Don't let Agnes come back. She'll blow our house down. Hi, Kelly. You missed your present today. We were gonna buy you an ice cream.
Here's your shoes. I took the newspaper out. Got a little damp.
Well, see ya. Where you going?
Back to Florida. My mama got in a fight with Tully's mama. That's her sister. About how to cook red beans and rice.
Well, at least you don't have to see Tully anymore.
He's all right. He said you were fair weather friends.
That's a lie. When you come back, we'll take you down to the swimming hole.
Okay, Just don't give me any more raisins. They give me gas.
Sure thing, Kelly.
You can call me Agnes. That's my name. Thanks for playing with me. I had fun. Well, bye-bye now.
See you next time. Bye.
Hello? Clay, where are you? I thought you said 7 o'clock. That's right, Paige Thornburg. Oh, my God. I'll be right there.
I was just leaving to meet you when I heard them check her in. I recognized her name.
How did she do it?
She took a whole bottle of painkillers.
Is she going to be able to pull through this?
Probably. We got it out of her stomach in time.
Mrs. Thornburg, I'm very sorry.
I got home from work and I found her. She left a note. It said 3 years was too long.
Well, she's past the biggest hurdle now. You can stay in her room tonight.
Oh, I'm not going anywhere. She was so miserable. I just wanted her to be happy. Like a normal child.
Her blood pressure's almost normal. It's a waiting game now.
Then I guess I'm waiting. I thought it was her mother.
You couldn't have known. How'd it go with Bill last night?
He wants to give it another try.
What do you want?
I don't know.
If I hadn't asked, would you have brought it up?
Until I sort this out, it just didn't feel fair to involve you in this process.
I really like you, but I don't like having to guess where I stand. When you decide what you want to do, call me, okay?
Okay.
Hey, honey, would you make me a cup of coffee?
It's 6:30. You're going to be up all night.
No, I gotta go to work in half an hour. I almost fell asleep on the job last night.
Why don't you quit? Even Sparky can't figure out why you want to be a security guard.
Because we need the money.
Get another job. Something normal.
Name one that would let me write. I finished 3 chapters last month. I can almost see the light at the end of the tunnel. Hello, that's fine. How do you do?
Hi.
Hold on. What's going on with you?
Thanks to you, I broke up with Jason today.
Well, I'm sorry, honey. I can only imagine how you must feel. And I know you're going to want to kill me for saying this, but I think you deserve to be treated better.
Would you rather we hadn't told you what he was doing?
I'd rather Tracy or someone else tell me than have my father give my boyfriend the 3rd degree. He told everyone what you did.
We were only trying to protect you.
What am I supposed to say? Thanks for running my life?
That'd be a good start.
Yeah, I'm glad I found out. I just wish I never even met him.
Well, don't beat yourself up. Do something positive, like writing. It's very cathartic.
I know.
Did you put her diary back?
Of course.
Did you lock it?
I think so.
You think so?
Present.
Thank you. What did I do?
Guilt offering. I still feel bad about the other night.
Chocolates.
Bad enough to let me ask you a personal question?
Maybe.
Why'd you decide not to marry him?
What makes you think it was my decision?
He didn't look like that big of an idiot.
He's that big of an idiot.
I'm sorry. With an asterisk. I'm sorry you had to go through that. I'm not sorry you're free. I have a hard time seeing you with a cop.
Really?
Yeah.
What about you?
Oh, I could never see myself with a cop.
What I meant was, what's your story on marriage?
I've gotten close a couple times, engaged, living together. Never the whole enchilada.
What happened?
Well, the first time was with a woman I met during my residency. You don't want to hear this.
Yes, I do. It's interesting.
Not as interesting as your story. Did you ever find out what Bill Moody wanted the other night?
No, he wants to get together and talk.
I can tell you what he's going to say. I'm an idiot, and I want you back.
We should eat up. I need to get back to court soon.
Mrs. Thornburg, whose idea was it for Paige to undergo the surgery?
Hers. She saw an ad in a magazine and did some research on the internet. I took her to 3 doctors for consultations before I agreed to let her go through with it.
How do you feel about the pain she's in as a result of the surgery?
If I had known beforehand this would happen, I never would have allowed her to go through with it. I love my daughter. I would never let her be hurt.
Thank you.
Mrs. Thornburg, you love Paige so much that you wouldn't have allowed her to go through the surgery had you known about the pain. Yet you're encouraging her to go through another procedure? That doesn't make sense.
This is so boring. When's it gonna be over?
Paige, this is very serious. Don't you care what happens here today?
I can always go live with Aunt Delia. She'll let me do what I want.
Have you ever told your daughter that she's ugly?
Never. I told her she could be popular, rich, beautiful, whatever she wanted to be.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Jackson, based on what you've learned as guardian ad litem, what is your opinion as to the best interest of Paige Thornburg?
Your Honor, first of all, I'd like to say that I don't blame this young girl for wanting to look as good as she can. I'm guilty of the same thing we're talking about here today. But there is a question of degree and of risk. Surgery is permanent, and it always involves risk. After today, I'm not sure who initiated this drastic course of action, mother or daughter, but I believe that it should stop until Paige is mature enough to make informed decisions for herself. Your Honor, rather than take her out of her home, please consider an injunction preventing her from any further cosmetic surgery while she's a minor. Thank you.
Is that so? Well, we were just concerned. Yes. Thank you so much for your time. Bye now.
What'd she say?
Well, Jason's mother isn't all that interested in his sexual activities. She said, well, you know, boys will be boys. They're just a bundle of hormones.
Well, just because a boy has hormones doesn't give him the right to unleash them on my daughter.
I'm going to remind you of that when Davis's hormones kick into high gear and you're cheering him on.
Hello, we're home.
Hey! You're home early. So, hey, where are you going?
I'm helping Jason go over his lines.
How about a little snack first? Come on, Jason. I'll show you how to make my special protein drink. It's great for wrestlers.
So, hey, Cal, why don't you tell me about that play you're doing?
Kelly tells me your acting is really something, on and off the stage.
What do you mean?
That you got the power of persuasion, gift of gab. You want to tell me about this, son? Left it here a couple days ago.
My friend Jack gave me some to hold so his parents wouldn't find him.
You want to cut the crap and give it to me straight?
I'm not doing anything with Kelly. I'm telling you, I promise.
You know what promises buy? Nothing. Zilch. How much money do you make?
A little from part-time jobs plus my allowance.
An allowance? Allowance doesn't support a family. Allowance doesn't pay the rent. Allowance doesn't put dinner on the table. You catch my drift, son?
I don't think so.
If you are having sex, then you better be prepared to be a father, take care of a family. You ready to do that, Jason?
No, sir.
You ready to drop out of school and get a full-time job? What kind of job would that be? Flipping burgers, washing cars?
What do you want me to say?
I want you to tell me why you're carrying these around. You got some other girl who'll do what Kelly won't.
You alone?
Just me and Buddy. Come on in. Can I get you a cup of coffee or something?
No, I won't stay that long.
How have you been?
Fine. Tired.
Job taking its toll, huh?
I'll get right to the point, Renee. Letting you go was the biggest mistake in my life. There was a lot going on back then. I was on overload. I wasn't thinking straight. I wasn't willing to compromise. I blew it.
Is this an apology?
No. I'm asking you to think about giving me another chance.
Chance at what?
I want to work things out between us, Renee. Please. Think about it.
McDonald's, what happened?
Bill just left my house. He wants to get back together.
Did you tell him to go to hell?
Oh, but I sure wanted to. I said I'd think about it.
Think about it? What's to think about? The man has a fantasy that the relationships are easy. The minute it gets hard, he jumps ship.
And right about now, I'd like to drown him.
Atta girl.
He admitted how wrong he was. He's willing to change.
Change takes time. You couldn't get out of bed last time he was through with you. Do you want to go through that again?
No, I don't, but we did have some incredible times together.
You ready to give up the idea of having kids?
No. He said he was willing to reconsider that.
Do you still love him?
I don't know.
What about Clay? You gonna give all that up just because Bill's come running back?
No. No, I'm not. There are no guarantees here, Emmy. You don't get presented with choices and automatically know how they're going to turn out. You just show up and do the best you can with the information that you've got.
You're such a lawyer.
First off, I'd like to thank Ms. Jackson for bringing this matter to the court's attention. Taking a child out of her home is a drastic measure, and if other solutions exist, I always prefer them. In this case, Mrs. Thornburg, do you agree to abide by my ruling that no further surgical procedures be performed on your daughter until she reaches the age of majority?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you, Miss Thornburg, agree to wait those 3 years to do any further surgeries?
Yes, sir.
And I will allow you to remain in your home, provided both of you agree to counseling.
Well, she chickens out. She won't. Kelly's gonna be mad as a hornet's nest when he sees how popular we've made her.
Where have you guys been?
Busy with some projects.
Like playing with Agnes? Because they're losers.
She likes to be called Kelly, and she's a very nice girl. We're even buying her an ice cream today.
I hope you have enough money. She eats everything in sight.
There she was, just walking down the street singing. Snapping her fingers and shuffling her feet singing. She looked good, she looked fine.
Cut the cheese. Agnes! Agnes, cut the cheese!